Hey guys, welcome to another Thursday edition of the Vinyl Den, your channel for record collecting by record collectors. My name is Nick. So today I'm going to talk about the 2014 Super Deluxe box set that was released for one of my favorite albums of all time, the classic from 1971, Led Zeppelin IV. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you click on that link down below. Go check out the Vinyl Den Facebook group. I know I say it every week, but it's a cool place to continue the music conversation. Doesn't necessarily have to be about vinyl records. We talk about anything music related in the Facebook group. There's also a couple other links down there. There's one for the Vinyl Den Spotify and Apple Music playlist, where every week we're just compiling music that we're talking about here on the channel, put it together in a nice playlist for everyone to enjoy. There's also a link for the Vinyl Den Patreon page. If you want to support the show, it's always greatly appreciated. You can support the show for as little as $1 a month. Of course, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I release new episodes. So like I said in the intro, Led Zeppelin IV or Untitled or their fourth album, whatever name you want to assign to the album, has been one of my favorite albums since I was a kid. I grew up listening to my dad's copy that he had on vinyl. And actually, that was the only copy I had for years and years. And I don't even think I bought this thing on CD until, the late 90s, I think is when I kind of finally gave up listening to the copy that had been well listened to for a couple of decades. But like I said, it's a great album. It's one that I've loved. It's actually got my favorite Led Zeppelin track on there. And no, it's not Stairway to Heaven. My favorite track is actually When the Levee Breaks. Great track. I love the how they recorded it. But the funny thing is about this album, and really this box set in particular, so this came out in 2014, and I don't know how many copies of this they printed, but this thing is still pretty easily available. I know my record store, Dearborn Music, still has a copy of it, and at least they did last time I was in there. And I know that they did, the first run was 30,000 copies of this, because they actually numbered the first 30,000. But I'm not sure how many total they printed of it. But the funny thing is about this album was when they released it, there was kind of a backlash for Led Zeppelin III. Like critically, critics didn't really get it. And I think not touring after the release of Led Zeppelin III kind of hurt the band a little bit commercially. So when they went to release Led Zeppelin IV, the record label, the band wanted to release it without a name on it. It's kind of a way to kind of get back at the critics or whatever, but the label really kind of had an issue with it, and the band was actually told that it would be commercial suicide to release an album without a name, and that's how they released it. There's no name on the front of it. There's no numbers on the label. I mean on the spine. There's no catalog number. There's no nothing. They released it with just the 4 symbols on the label of the record. So it's kind of an interesting kind of story behind that. If you're not familiar with the recording process of Led Zeppelin IV, it's kind of cool. You can go online. There's tons of websites and stories about it. But like I said, it's a great album. I love how they recorded it. The dynamics of the album is one of the best. But I'm going to go through this box set and kind of show what's inside this thing. I will say that I think it was 2014 they redid the entire set of Led Zeppelin albums. All their albums were available on the Super Deluxe box sets, and I've seen them all pretty recently. Even I think the only one I haven't seen recently is the Physical Graffiti one, because the Physical Graffiti is probably my second favorite Led Zeppelin album, so I probably would have grabbed that had I seen it. But I got this for a pretty decent price off of Discogs, and like I said, it's pretty easy to grab. Like I said, my local record store still had copies of it last time I was in there. But, overall, it's just a great-looking box. It's the spine on it. So it says Led Zeppelin. It's got those 4 symbols on there, if I turn it the right way. So the 4 symbols represented, each member of the band. So it's kind of a little interesting thing behind that. But open this thing up. And then the first 30,000 copies are actually numbered. So this is the print, and let's see, mine's I've got number 28,747. So if you're a fan of low numbers, This is not one of them. So it's kind of a high number there. But, it's kind of a cool little print that comes with it. It's got this nice 88-page hardcover book that comes with it. I love the cutout on the front of it. And then it just kind of goes over the album, and it's got pictures, and obviously I've gone through this a couple of times, but just a bunch of pictures and flyers and ads from the process, from the recording process, from touring, from all that. So it's really kind of cool to go through there and kind of see everything. I think these are all from 1971. Yeah, all the pictures in here, everything in here is from 71. So the year, actually, the end of it was from 72. So it's probably the tour after the album was released. Obviously, Led Zeppelin IV is probably their biggest selling album just because of Stairway to Heaven. It's the album that everyone knows. But the cool thing is about this box set, the reason I really wanted it was for two reasons. First off, it's remastered by Jimmy Page. He did a fantastic job with this. And I think the standard version is pretty still readily available. You can get that anywhere. But it's really the second disc in this box set. And this is outtakes and different kind of demos of the tracks off the albums, different mixes and things like that. So it's really, I love being able to listen to kind of the process and how they kind of got to where they ended up at with the album. Because with any album, there's a process to it, right? So listening to this, it's definitely worth the price of the box set, if you don't already have a lot of this stuff. Because I think the extra tracks, are all available on streaming services. I might be wrong, but, it's cool. I love the kind of alternate cover on there, listing of all the tracks on the back. But, it's got, of course, all the great tracks on here. There's a different Sunset sound mix for Stairway to Heaven on there. Misty Mountain Hops alternate mix, but just a lot of really cool stuff in this. And then, of course, it comes with both of them on CD also. So you get the vinyl and CD copies of the album, which I already had the CD version of it, and then it also comes with a download card for the albums also. So definitely cool little box set. If you are a Led Zeppelin fan, I think it's definitely one to grab just because, really all of them. I'd love to have all these eventually. Like I said, they're still pretty readily available. So it's one that, they're starting to creep up there, north of $100, $150 in a lot of cases. But, they're still out there to grab. They're still available. And, it's one that there's at least the first four albums I'd love to have in these box sets. It's definitely an album in a box set that I've been meaning to talk about for a while, ever since I picked this box set up last year. Just because I don't see it a whole lot talked about in the vinyl community. I don't see pictures of it on social media a lot. So I'm not sure how popular these were when they were released. Like I said, they're still easily available. And I picked this up last year. These were released in 2014. I picked this up last year, and it's still one of the first 30,000 copies, because I know that to what it says in the notes it was only going to be the first 30,000 copies that were numbered. After that, they were just unnumbered. So I'm not sure if they stopped at 30,000 because they just didn't sell as much as they thought they would, or they've gone on and pressed more since then. But I don't know. Like I said, I'd love to get more of these. Like, I just checked on Discogs, and they're still on there for a really reasonable price. But, I don't know, drop me a comment, let me know what you guys think about these. That's kind of all I had to talk about it. I just kind of wanted to go over it real quick, because I know I've had a couple of people ask me questions about it whenever I've posted in the Facebook group or posted on Instagram whenever I've listened to it. But that's kind of all I got about it. Drop me a comment, let me know what you guys think. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give me the old thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. That's all I got. Until next time, keep on spinning. Peace.